It's a good thing I got 2 minutes and 19 seconds worth of video left on this card, because it's starting to feel like it's going to be a slow day. Man, that was annoying. Had some kind of gravel in the shoe, I guess. All I know is I got a tight day. Went to bed late, woke up late. Got started on my chores late. Now I'm walking late. 8:30. $8:30 down the bad side of town. Pressing your luck? Sure, why not? I think what'll shock me is if I go to Bachman and there's still a lot of people out there. Yesterday was paradise, today is hot garbage. Man, that was nice yesterday. It was cool. Still humid though. The air was pretty good, and I was able to establish a rhythm. Today is the opposite. The air is garbage. It's hotter. Looks like it's going to be crowded. That's not one of mine. Nope, those cats belong to somebody. We got a lot of cats, man. I go to work, there's cats. Come home, there's cats. I go to work out, and they got cats over there working with the workout, man. I got 13 cats. Had 14. One of them disappeared. I don't know where she went. She wasn't technically mine anyway. She just wandered over and would eat at the community bowl. I spayed her because she was, every time I looked, she was dropping litters. And the neighbor, she was feeding the cat, and the cat was standing in the backyard. Anyway, I got it taken care of. I ain't seen that cat since. She had enough of me. I take that back. Like I said, I saw her one time after I had her spayed. And I guess she just realized there was just too many other cats that she'd had to compete with for food. So she moved on. I got a big orange tabby that's trying to show up and get him something to eat. And the girls ain't tolerating him. I got 4 girls. I call them the enforcers. Leader of the enforcers, her name is Minx. Minx is the only one that socializes. Minx is weird. She only wants to be petted on the back of her, on her back quarters. I don't know what that's all about. She actually takes her paws and guides my hand to where she wants me to pet her. Anyway, she and 3 other girls that look like her, they keep everybody in line. They make sure they eat first. They keep the kittens out of there. And every once in a while they gang up on Demona. Demona Demona gives as good as she gets. Anyway, between them and Demona, that the new male tabby, he ain't gonna stick around long, I don't think. If he does, I guess I'll be trapping him. Makes me laugh when that guy said, we're sitting up there at the SPCA, all of us who have trapped many cats. Like my mentor taught me, she said, you're a trap master now. And I said, I guess I am. But that dude made that statement. He said, well, I'll be glad when this is over. And we all just laughed. Never gonna be over, man. Unless you lose some cats. Or excuse me, yeah, it'll never be over if you lose cats. I got 13. I got 13 because they don't want 14. My cats are territorial. They're territorial, and yet they let that damn possum eat at the bowl. But I ain't seen her since, so my dad started taking the food in early. I learned a lot about possums this year. They're marsupials, and I don't know if the city will take them away. They can be trapped. They're very stupid animals. I've trapped a possum, the same possum, twice. I always thought they were rodents. I learned that possums can climb trees. I guess I should have known that when I used to read Walt Kelly's Pogo. And Pogo sometimes would hang out. Pogo was supposed to be a possum, but Walt Kelly never looked like a possum. I didn't know what he was. Like, what was there? Mademoiselle Hellzabob. The skunk looked like a skunk. I think there was an alligator. The alligator looked like the alligator. I used to kind of dig Pogo, but did I say Pogo? Yeah, I used to dig Pogo, but the problem is I never could understand what exactly was going on. There was a lot of politics. Saw a cartoon one time, Pogo for president, and got kind of hooked on it. And I got a comic book now drawn by another fella, I think his name's Jeff Smith. He kind of copies that style, and his is called Bone. And I got Bone, I got the first book in color. And then somehow I bootlegged, yeah, I'll admit it, I bootlegged the complete complexion. The way it works is I bootleg them, and if I like like the first 10 or 20 pages, I go ahead and buy a copy. A lot of assholes out here tonight. A lot of assholes out here every night. And that's music. I get it, you start sounding like an old guy, but that's music, ladies and gentlemen. Synthesized warbling is music. I was like, you don't even need the rap artist at that point. Just get a computer with an AI program that makes word salad and distort the voice, and that you pretty much got the makings of a good rap song now. they always have lights that bright over there? That's to do with the wrecker. Alright. Excuse me, wrecker is plural. You got it smelling good over there. I'm tired, so I'm probably going to be talking the whole time. I apologize. Of course, you probably weren't going to get a quiet night anyway. Oh, with all this going on. I don't know what they call this condition where you buy stuff and you collect stuff, but you don't ever use the stuff that you buy and collect. Is that being a pack rat? Is that hoarder? That might be a hoarder. I'm a computer hoarder. My problem is that my reptile brain sees the cover and it says, oh, this looks interesting, and I scoop it up. If there's a hot girl on the cover, I'm buying it. If there's something weird going on, I'm buying it. And then every once in a while the high brain gets in there and it says, oh, this is an interesting science fiction, gay erotica, musical thriller about something that's going on with blah. It's like it crosses genres, I'm buying it. So I find myself reading a lot of books about lesbian cowboys in outer space. I'm kind of digging it, but I'm wondering how the hell I got it in the first place. I used to get a lot of my comic books through the Humble Bundle. And I guess the Humble Bundle, they decided to go full retard, so all of a sudden they're offering stuff that I have no idea who wants this. Full moon, full moron. smell of fresh cut grass mixed with fried food. Just once, I'd like to hear Alba pouring out of somebody's stereo system, you know, with Waterloo playing in the background. That's all I'm asking. Waterloo, left my heart in Waterloo.
Hey,
Hey,
what's
man.
up, man?
Hey. Man, this place comes alive at night. It's like Breeder Frampton out here. The werewolves eat good tonight. So Guerrero. I see that last name, and I wonder if it means fort in Spanish. Because what is it? Guerrero, it means battle. Anyway, I wonder if they make good sandwiches. I see these places, I walk by them, and I never curious if the Royal Chopstick makes good Chinese food. Of course, I'm wondering all these things because I'm starving. for dinner tonight? Chicken soup. Chicken soup with a shitload of crackers. If I make it to tomorrow, it's going to be if I make it tomorrow, it's going to be Italian wedding soup. Why? I don't know. That's just what they named it. It's got like little pieces of pasta in it and some Italian sausage and some kind of greens. No, I'm listening to the guy sing. That's not bad. It's like, you know, he's like a Barry Manilow. If you can sing, I don't care what language it is, man. You got chops. That's why for a while I was hooked on Yoko Kanno. I think that's her name. She went to Showtime with the Apollo. Like I said, that's funny though, man. Japanese girl goes down to Harlem, sings on amateur night, blows away the crowd. Barely spoke English. And I never realized that Steve Harvey was the MC when she was there that night. Didn't know who Steve Harvey was. It was just like, they always got some host up there. Sinbad was the host, that's all I remember. Got a lot of assholes that don't think they need mufflers. Anyway, Sinbad was the MC. And then they had this rough looking joker. He was the host for a while. He had this really gravelly, froggy voice, and I think he was in the movie Ghost, playing the guy who killed Patrick Swayze. He never looked like he was comfortable being the MC. He was up there doing it for a while, and then he was gone, and I guess they brought in Steve Harvey, and I didn't know who Steve Harvey was. He wasn't the king of comedy back then, or whatever. And he was having fun with it. He'd mess with people that came up there on amateur night. You know, Steve Harvey stuff. When did I stop watching Showtime of the Apollo? They messed up the schedule. It was on, then one time they took it off, and then they brought it back, and then they put it on BT, and that's when I knew I'd never watch it again. So we had to watch it late at night on a Saturday, I think it was Saturday night, on like Channel 21, which was the independent over here. No, wait. I think it used to come on ABC. Then it moved to independent. Then it went off the air. Then they put it on BET. BET was a shitty channel, and there it is a shitty channel. I have no way of knowing if it's still on the air. When I was a kid, hitting puberty, great way to see ass shaking videos. BET had this late night uncut or something like that. They show it was borderline porn, man. They had some wild videos on there. You had Luther Campbell and Rex and Effects. They even had some Mexican guys get in there. Not Mexican or Hispanic. Hajime. They'd have some Mexican rappers on there. I keep saying Mexican. Hispanic rappers on there. Because I think some of these guys are Cuban. And they'd have some girls shaking their rumps on there. You'd be like, man. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Sir Mix-a-Lot even has some of his stuff on Playboy. He had a show where he was hosting on Playboy for like a minute. Playboy tried to have shows. I never understand that. Why is it a channel's got something good going, and then some guy says, "Yeah, we're gonna start making shows." The Disney Channel was just wall-to-wall cartoons. Then they came out with the new Musketeer show, and then there was something else they came out with. It's like, yeah, we're gonna start having shows. MTV was wall-to-wall music videos, and they said, yeah, we're gonna start having shows. And I remember, I think the first one was Remote Control. I watched it for 5 minutes, and I said, all right, what else they got on? And that's what tired me out about cable TV, was they never let me get used to what was on the channel. If you found something you liked on cable TV, you better record it and you better cherish it, because it wasn't going to stick around long. MTV had an animation block. I was really digging it, and then it was gone. Liquid Television. I never saw Spike and Mike. I think that came on like way late at night, and by that time I was sleeping. But I watched a hell of a lot of Liquid Television. If it wasn't for Liquid Television, I wouldn't be sitting here right now seeking out the works of Richard Sala. His art style is just crazy. For some reason, I like the way he draws. The other guy I liked was Everett Peck. He would do some weird stuff, and then then he did a Duckman on USA. Duckman. I wouldn't be surprised they tried to revive that. YouTube now has episodes of Duckman. I was like, that's like, how much money did they throw in front of Jason and Alexander for that? usually when I see people, there's always kissing and necking and some baby making. Times have changed, I guess. They're just like, they're gonna Bachman Lake. That's where you dump. That's where you dump chicks. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, damn. That's the bad thing about having a gun now is suddenly a thought pops in my head. Maybe I'll start concealed carrying, and I was like, why? You know, I got pepper spray, and I've used my pepper spray maybe 3 times in defense. But a gun is different. Can't shoot dogs. I mean, I can, but I just can't get a good lock on it. I can't get a good lock on the dog, and then on top of that, I can't reason with the dog. Probably shoot the owner though. I'm not even joking about that part. I mean, this is Texas. I could probably shoot the owner. Hey, I was holding my ground. He wouldn't get Cujo off of me, so I decided to put him down. The owner, I mean, not Cujo. Once the owner was down, Cujo was very peaceful. The dog's nervous, or the owner's nervous, the dog's nervous. Anyway, getting back to animation, or television in general. Cable TV never let you find a rhythm. And they sit there and they wonder why they keep losing subscribers. I've been watching YouTube. YouTube's been on the air for over 10 years now, and I'm amazed that Foamy the Squirrel has been on there for that long. I was just like, man, you watch Foamy till the cows come home. You don't like Foamy, and that's okay. Look at Cyanide and Happiness. You don't like Cyanide and Happiness? By the way, I got the feeling the guy who did Cyanide and Happiness just went big time and did Next Gen on Netflix. That looks like his artwork. His or her. Been watching a lot of bad Netflix movies though. And that'll be my gripe if Netflix ever goes out of business. Some of their content was just utter garbage. I started watching a movie called Mute, and I knew I was in trouble when 45 minutes into it I started looking at the bar, and I was like, you got an hour left, and I was like there may be an hour left in this movie, but I ain't gonna be watching it. They took the dude from True Blood and they said, okay, you're just gonna walk around making facial expressions. You can't say anything because your character's mute. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking when they pitched this to the guys at Netflix, they said, whatever, we'll just throw a pile of money at it. It's like, well, it's a story about an Amish mute. An Amish mute in the future. It's like, oh, okay. How much do you need? 300 million? There you go. When do you think you can have it done? 6 months? Alright. And I mean, it had it's Paul Rudd in it. And he's trying his best. He's actually one of the reasons why you can watch it for about 45 minutes. And then after that, it just like, all right, I don't care. It's like he's looking for this girl, and you don't know why he's looking for the girl, because you don't care about the girl, because there's nothing really spectacular about the girl. She's annoying. It's 2 hours of him looking for this girl. And I was like, you know, I got 45 minutes into it, and I said, you know, I don't really care if he finds her or not, dead or alive, or she's cheating on him or whatever. I don't care. I just deleted it. Watching Next Gen. The robot's cool, but the girl that he's bonded himself to, I'm just like, robot, you can do better. You know, they had this frizzy red-headed girl that seemed like she had a level head on her shoulders. She wasn't even, I don't even know why she was in the story. She'd make comments every once in a while. You thought that she was going to be friends with the main girl, and then just nothing developed with her. She was a useless character. She didn't offer any poignant advice or tips. She was just in there, had a couple of lines of dialogue. She was in there, had a couple of lines of dialogue, and then was just out. But the main girl was a jerk. I'm watching it and I'm like, all right. Animation was really good though. I don't even know why David Cross was in it. I guess they just needed his voice, this nasally, whiny quality to it, because they put it in all the robots and it made you hate them. I watched Invasion, and the problem I have with Invasion, one, it shouldn't have been a movie. Two, it damn sure shouldn't have been 2 hours long. It was a great pilot for a TV show. I'm just fast forwarding through that thing. I'm just like, just get onto it. So let me see what the aliens look like. I'm just fast forwarding. Oh, the aliens are humans. Wow, there's a twist. What did that you say? People fighting for survival of robots. Okay, I got you. But it suffers from the same thing that all these invasion things are suffering from. You know, they have to make it to where they have to sell it to families, so who's going to star in it? Families. And I'm getting tired of that. They bitch and they gripe for the first 30 minutes of the film, and that's supposed to show you the character, and then they band together and survive this chaos. When I was a kid, I grew up, it was a single guy, knew his shit. The aliens would show up, he'd handle it. Now the dad's he's a quivering mess. He doesn't really know much of anything. He screws up, his wife's mad at him, his kids are mad at him. The poor guy just can't seem to do right, but he's a lovable lout. And somehow he just stumbles his way, or idiots his way, through surviving the invasion. What I'm learning is don't watch movies that are on Netflix. Sometimes you can watch the TV shows. The live action aren't that great. The cartoons are pretty good, but don't get used to them, because they suffer from the same problem that cable channels suffer from. You may like them, but they're not going to pay for another season. Noche de Lascals. Anyway, I got hooked on Knights of Sidonia, and I'm not gonna see any more of it. Attack on Titan. I just started reading the manga, and I'm thinking, is that what they want the anime to do? It's like, yeah, watch the anime, and then maybe you can go watch the One Punch Man. I was watching that on Netflix. Gone. I know Enchantment's not going to get a second season. Or Disenchantment. I keep saying Enchantment. Disenchantment. That's the problem with a lot of the Matt Groening shows, is that it takes them like a season and a half to get their legs with an audience. And then after that, they just, you know, they hit their stride. I guess if I want to watch experimental animation, the place to do that now is YouTube. What I'm watching right now is, they had it on YouTube, and I don't know if I wouldn't buy YouTube Red to pay for it. So it was I think it was Dallas and Robo Trucking Company. Wasn't that bad. Considering it's a completely web-based show, and it was like YouTube's first attempt, they did okay. It's kind of creepy how Kat Dennings sounds a lot like Kristen Shaw. Said John Cena is the voice of the robot. I was like, John Cena, the wrestler? He did all right. Plays a really good straight man. I'm a man addicted to video. I'll watch video because then I have to do something while I'm eating. I'm shoveling in soup and crackers, and I have a hard time reading while doing that, so I watch video. One reason why I'm always complaining I don't have time to do anything is because I'm too tired. Like after this, I'm gonna be wore out. I'm gonna go home, take off all this wet stuff, prepare some food, or prepare breakfast, eat that, and then I'm too tired and wore out to actually try to get up, because reading takes effort. Watching doesn't. My television took off. It's great for the tired masses, but you plop in front of there, you hit the clicker, and something is going to satiate that reptile brain of yours. hadn't happened since I got up to 180. I kept trying to lose weight, and I was getting down to the 170s, and I'd go into like this insulin shock, where I'd just go to sleep, black out for like 30 minutes, wake up. And whatever I was watching, I had to back it up. It's like, all right, where was I? Oh yeah, let me go back. It's random. It's like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It may happen at night while I'm watching these football games. Not NFL, but the college stuff. I honestly didn't think I'd have anything to watch because it was a cupcake week. There are a couple of games that, let's see if I can catch them. If I'm lucky, somebody put them on YouTube and they said, here's this game condensed into 40 minutes. Football's tolerable on YouTube. Like, they cut out all the bullshit, man. You're just watching it. You're just like, hey, it's not a bad game. Watching Oklahoma play. Oklahoma was playing. They were lighting up the scoreboard. Tit for tat. They were playing a nobody team and almost got beat by them. Can't remember what that was now. But Ohio State, they beat TCU, and after that they're on track now. I only picked one team so far, and that's, like I said, last year I had about 3 or 4 teams I was watching. There's only one team that I kind of keep up with, and that's Central Florida. I'm watching ECF everyone. I watched their first game and I said, well, looks like Kenzie Milton didn't lose a step. Let's go ahead and bottom line is they graduated a lot of guys, lost a head coach, and they're still good. Baracho! They're even knocking down the signs without cars. Anyway. Is it Kenzie or Mackenzie Milton? But kind of wondering if like Josh Frost hadn't won a game in Nebraska, and I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe it wasn't the coach, maybe it was the team. Maybe what happened was he recruited all those guys, all those cast-offs from Florida, other Florida teams, and got him on that team. And Central Florida is going to be a recruiting powerhouse for a while, like South Florida was. That's what happened to South Florida. The Bulls went in there and beat a couple of top-ranked teams and had them a undefeated season. Everybody said, "Oh shit, we got to start watching the Bulls now." I was watching the Bulls. In fact, last year's battle between UCF and USF, that was an instant classic. UCF almost lost that game and then winning it off of a kickoff return. That tripped me out. I was like, wow. I was like, this team, that's why I watch sports. Every once in a while, I accidentally stumble across an underdog, and they make it so much fun to watch. The Rangers were like that back in, God, it's been 6 years now? Whenever they went to the World Series that first time. I'm listening to Randy Galloway on the radio, and he says, oh, that's a Texas team. He said, this Texas team, you might want to watch. He said, they look like they're going. He says, I'm not saying they're going to go anywhere, but he said they might finish above 500 and look pretty good doing it. That was his prediction. I said, I hadn't watched baseball in a while. I said, let me go ahead and give it a shot. I was watching like 2 of their games. Vladimir Guerrero was hitting home runs off of bounce balls. The thing would skip off the dirt and he'd hit it. knock it deep. And I said, okay. Elvis Andrews and what's his name? The dude that can't never get right. Ham Sandwich, that's what it is. Hamilton. Hamilton was hitting him. Hamilton and Elvis Andrews had something going on where they were doing the hand gestures, the hook, the claw, and the antlers. I said, okay, I said, well, they got some kind of weird little rally thing going on here. Craig Dentry. What was his name? Morehouse or Moorhead or Chris something. But the bottom line is that dude hit the ball like he was angry at it. He'd drive on these homers. Then there was Nelly Cruz. Nelly Cruz, whose hamstrings just never quit seem to get right. But his hips were just fine because he was power hitting everything out of the park. And I watched that lovable collection of misfits win a bunch of games, and they made it look exciting. They had some pitchers that nobody had ever heard of. Like, Nolan Ryan had put together a team of interesting outcasts. Now, that asshole who was in there, John Daniels, took credit for it, but everybody knew it was Nolan Ryan. What happened was he made them boys work, and when he made those boys work, because they weren't going to get over on Nolan Ryan. It's like, oh man, you don't know what baseball's like. Excuse me. You know, you can't get one over on the Fastball Express. So they were rallying behind him. He was working them pretty good. And then when they saw that hard work paying off, they started winning games. It reminded me of what Jimmy Johnson was with the Cowboys in '92, '93. They had a team of guys with chips on their shoulders that were working hard and just had a lot of fun beating the hell out of people. I watched them that whole season. They made it to the World Series. They lost, but I wasn't sad about that at all. I was like, man, they weren't even supposed to make it this far. God, imagine if they're going to be next year. Then came next year. Oh God, came next year. They were still kind of the fun-loving guys, but they picked up a bunch of guys from they started beefing up their team with a bunch of good pictures. Cliff Lee was there for a hot minute. That was when Ian Kinsler and I can't remember his name, the Italian guy. The guy who can hit all, Mike Napoli and Ian Kinsler were kind of having some kind of weird thing going on where they were ribbing on each other. It just made their play a lot more fun to watch. That's what it was. He'd come out there to do his, he'd come out to bat. And Mike Napoli, and all of a sudden somebody was playing "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me?" by I can't remember what the name of the band is. I don't know if it's deep. I don't know the names of those bands, but they were playing just a hard man coming out there playing coming out to bat to that song, and it was like, yeah, that was something that. So him and Ian Kinsler got some kind of weird thing going. And they brought in Mr. Beltre, who was all business. He was the replacement for Vlad Guerrero, because he could do the same thing. He was, only he did that thing where he got down on one knee and he'd scoop it up. Looked like a robot, man. He just hits the knee. He just goes down perfectly and times it, clocks it, whatever ball it. Somebody tried to skip off the dirt. You'd swear that Vladimir Guerrero, he probably would have made an excellent cricket batsman. Can you imagine Vladimir Guerrero playing cricket? I can't imagine anybody playing cricket. Like I said, cricket is work, man. You're gonna sit up there and take, the bowler has to sit there and toss at you for about 300, 400 bowls. And this is the first day. I watched Test cricket and I said, never again. I tell you what though, you want something that is a great sleep aid. I was like, I can't sleep. And I was like, hold on, let me see if I can find you a Test cricket match. England versus Australia. Watching a jet lag team beat the hell out of a team that came in there to play a 5-game, you know, test match. And they were tired on day 1. And it was like, yeah, they looked at the statistics and they say that the home team has the advantage in cricket matches. And I was like, yeah, I wonder why. You got to fly halfway across the globe to play a game that only a few 100,000 people watch. And then you got to do it for 5 days. And I cut my teeth watching T20 cricket. T20, it's a little too Americanized. I was looking at it, I was like, you guys went over the top. I was like, what's with the cheerleaders, man? Yeah, cheerleaders and LEDs lighting up in the wickets and sponsors stuff splattered all over the field. And I was like, you know, I was like, I'm not a traditionalist, and even I think this is over the top. But I like the concept of it. It was 20 bowls and so many innings, or so many overs and so many innings. It added suspense to the game because first, you know, it's cricket. Test cricket is the hitters. It's the hitter is in control. T20, the bowler's in control. Actually, in T20 it's about 50-50. But in Test cricket, it's just like batsmen could be out there all day, just hitting. Nobody's going to be hitting 4s and 6s unless it was. A lot of assholes out here. Nobody's going to be hitting 4s and 6s unless there was a mistake. The bowlers sit there and they just throw garbage the whole time. It's probably even worse if I was watching India-Pakistan test matches, where they play on that nasty pitch, that dry ass, shitty ass, dirty ass pitch. Home of some of the greatest spin bowlers. But cricket ain't gonna survive, and cricket ain't gonna survive because it's all cricket's fault. That's all there is to it, man. I mean, you know, the Aussies got smart and they took league, like rugby. You know, union rugby is just stuck in its ways. It's got limited viewership. If it wasn't for Oceania, it would be dead a long time ago. New Zealand, Australia, some other places over there. But they came out with league rugby, or rugby league. And rugby league's exciting, it's easy to follow. I can't watch a lot of this stuff because it comes on at odd hours, number one, and number two, they aren't trying to penetrate the U.S. market. It's like everybody's ignoring America now, and maybe rightly so. I wanted to watch cricket, and the package was too expensive, and then on top of that, it was made in such a way that I wouldn't be able to get to it because I was an American. I was like, you guys don't do anything to try to make this easy for us to watch it. I was like, you realize how big of an Indian community we have here in the United States? And then on top of that, you got people that like me who just, maybe we want to watch a new sport. So I didn't watch any T20 cricket like I planned on. I'm not gonna fight that hard. I mean, I got so many other distractions that fitting in time for cricket, not gonna happen. I kind of wish they would play cricket the same time they played American baseball, so I have something to watch during the summers. I'm just waiting for them to fire John Daniels so I can start enjoying, so I can start watching the Rangers again. Gone through 2 managers, and it's like, oh no, yeah, maybe it's the managers, yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
How are you?
But no, they aren't gonna fire John Daniels. He's the golden boy. I see the chalk on the sidewalk, and I keep thinking about Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins. And I heard a phrase that I still don't know what it means to this day: punting on the Thames. Something English, I don't know. But that was the phrase they used: punting on the Thames. Near as I can tell, it's when you near as I can tell, punting on the Thames is you're taking a nice leisurely stroll along the, I guess there's sidewalks or something on the Thames River. I wouldn't know. I don't know, man. I've been reading a lot of English stuff, and can't say UK. I mean, this is uniquely England. I'm watching a lot of English stuff, and I was like, you know, maybe if I had a head injury and some free time, I might head over that way, but I mean, in theory, I got some family to look up over there, but I don't think I'll ever make that trip. Just as a black man in general, I don't think I'd ever go to Europe. And then again, I guess that's because I've heard some propaganda. I've heard bad things. It's a great place if you're white. If you're not, stay away. So I just don't go. My bucket list has written in and lightly erased off: visit England. hunting on the Thames. Anyway, they're not going to get rid of John Daniels. Maybe after the third manager tries to navigate this this mess of sabermetrics talent. After we've gone through the third round of sabermetrics garbage, maybe they'll start to think, okay, John, you might have to go. It's 3 strikes, you're out of baseball, right? Out of your John Daniels. So Nolan's sitting there fat and happy. His boys are getting ready to chase the second World Series ring. Rangers will be watching on TV. They won't be participating this year. They haven't been participants. I don't understand what it is about this thing. What is it? The local hacks sit there and they support. That's why nobody reads Fort Worth Telegram and the Dallas Morning News. Not just because somebody decided to put it behind a paywall, but also because the local news here sucks. It just does. So they sing the praises of John Daniels. It's not John Daniels the problem. This is the problem. That's the problem. They're making excuses for this man. Some of it makes me wonder if it's because of who owns all these newspapers. They don't want them to. The news is now, you know, owned by these corporations, and so you can't. So they pull out certain stories. That's why Galloway had to go away. You can't have writers with opinions now. John Daniels is so god awful that he has his own Facebook page. Fire John Daniels, the Fire John Daniels Club. I guess I'll go check that out tonight. I stopped watching the news for 2 months now, and I got an hour back in my life, an hour a day back in my life. So my mother tries to tell me what's going on. I was like, I don't care. This is what everybody's like. This is what Trump did this time. I was like, I don't care. But he's going to pick a guy who's going to overturn Roe v. Wade. I was like, Roe v. Wade's already pretty much overturned. I can't drive down the street without a road collapsing or something blowing up. And yet this seems to be the hot topic of the day. Whether or not women who have access to Plan B and in uterine, what do they call it, intrauterine devices, IUDs, can still get abortions the old-fashioned way. I was like, it doesn't matter anymore. Let me tell you what's going to happen on the whole abortion debate. It's going to become black market, and then no one's going to be able to stop it. You'll be able to go on the dark web, order you some Plan B, have it shipped to your house, just like you can have weed and everything else shipped to. Baby, problem solved. Doesn't matter what week you are into the abortion, you'll just have it done. Eventually, I mean eventually, like within the next 5 years. In the next 3 to 5 years, 3D printers will be able to manufacture drugs. You'll be able to 3D print some kind of molecular thing. The bottom line is someone's going to find a way to mass produce this stuff using 3D printers. And you can get whatever abortifacient, abortion-inducing medication you want printed. You'll pop it in, you'll feel some cramps, you'll push out that baby carcass, and hopefully you won't bleed to death. And America will be right down the same road it was during Prohibition. A bunch of moralists clenching their teeth. Clenching their teeth, yelling at and being angry at everybody who doesn't follow their rule. This is against the law. Can't the people see this? Why can't they just do the right thing? Why do they have to fight us on this? I don't care. I hope they get caught. And there's a foaming at the mouth. Like I said, 'cause that's what the dude that was the Prohibition guy for alcohol was doing. They were making wood alcohol poisonous on purpose to discourage people from drinking, or not wood alcohol, but they were putting a poison inside one of these things that had alcohol in it. And the guy was saying they deserved to go blind, or they deserved to die anyway. And that was when they had gone too far. And I guess I started to realize that America is not the land of the free because our laws make it so. It's because the people who live here are so stubborn and onerous and anti-authoritarian that any laws that any idiot around here tries to put into place, they got to enforce it. And it always goes badly. They're spending X billion dollars on the war on drugs, and it's a colossal failure, as we just saw back there. They spend all this money trying to force people to do what they want them to do, and all they do is fill up jails and waste a bunch of money. So maybe we ought to change the thing from home of the free and tightly regulated. That's why I don't really care about abortion. It's so irrelevant in the age of pharmaceuticals and new technologies that you can make it illegal on paper, but you can't enforce it. A woman's going to go out there, she's going to get a pill or a device. It's going to go inside her body, and the baby's going to go out. I was reading some kind of life news site, and I guess the guys were happy because they said, oh, the technology now makes it to where the fetus is viable outside of the womb for earlier. I was like, they're all happy about this, and I was like, who's going to pay for this? Woman's going to come up there and say, hey, I don't want to have the baby. That's okay, we'll just take it out and we'll develop the fetus and the embryo. I was like, okay, well, who's going to pay the dime? And you know what's going to happen? The woman who's going to go get the abortion or the legal fetus removal, they're going to try to make her pay for it. It's like, yeah, good luck with that. Especially if she's poor and has had multiple kids. Good luck trying to get that money. Nope. We're just going to make it easier to get those pills. some back alley dealer or sex worker. She hooks you up for 20 bucks a pop. You take a couple of pills, you flush it, wrap it up, whatever you gotta do to get rid of it. No one's gonna know. Like I said, a couple of girls are gonna bleed to death. America's gonna overreact. Oh my God, we've got to do something about this travesty. The DEA gets involved, and they fuck it up like they do everything else. Next thing you know, you got pregnant women going to jail. What are you in for? They caught me with the Borfacins. Dealing or possession? Both. And they'll actually say, a bitch gotta eat, don't she? I was like, okay. A lot of girls gotta eat, a bitch has gotta eat. Alright. Prisons are just swelling with abortion offenders, because you went after the one method. You tried to make it hard for people to get abortions, and then they were taking the pills. Now you're going after the pills. The rest of the world will gladly, freely. Mexico's going to start making a fortune, man. The cartels haven't figured it out. Like I said, they better start putting the pipeline into place. America's going to need abortion drugs, and we're going to have to start providing a method for them to get. So anyway, they tell me about all this stuff in the news. I don't care. Bill Cosby. It's a bittersweet moment for the Bill Cosby thing. There is a little schadenfreude in it, but at the same time, I dug him as an entertainer. And I mean, he's dead. He's pretty much dead at this point. He's 80 years old. They're gonna be putting him in jail for a long. They're gonna try to put him in jail for a long period of time. He may not do a day. I don't know. This ain't like the Mike Tyson situation. Mike Tyson was railroaded. I still believe that in my heart. I was just like, you go up to the guy's room at 3 o'clock in the morning. I thought we were just going to have a nice friendly chat over milk and cookies. I'm like, no. That whole thing just smelled of a setup. But old Bill was plying them with drugs. And like I said, the only bone of contention I haven't been keeping up with it was he slipping it in there without them knowing it? Or were they willingly taking the stuff to try to take the edge off? I always trip out though is who these guys get busted with. I'm just like, look at the girl that Hugh Grant was messing with. I'm like, why? Look at the. I think it was a girl. Look at Eddie Murphy and who he was messing with, and you're like, why? And then you look at who Bill Cosby was messing with, and the whole time you're sitting there thinking, why? You know, people make fun of Trump, but at least he was smart to pay for his, and he got some pretty good quality tail. Stormy Daniels is not my cup of tea, but she's still, you know, attractive to someone. All right. Then you start thinking weird things like you start working it into a stand-up comedy routine. Ironically, about a stand-up comedian. I was like, why couldn't Cosby just have killed somebody? You can get off for that in America. Seriously. You could kill somebody in America and you'll probably get off for that. If Bill Cosby had tried to kill his accuser, he might have walked away. But he made the dumb fuck mistake of having sex with her. America has a hang-up about sex. It does not have a hang-up about violence. You can mess up somebody's pussy and you're done for life. But you mess up someone's, or you take someone's life, we can forgive that. We let that go after a while. A lot of coins on the ground. Well, at least I'll have something to pay shower in. Man. But you know what? I keep reading stories about how the youth have no direction. So it doesn't surprise me that they'd be hanging out at 10 o'clock at night on a weekday.
Oh, you're right, bro. Look, they left the lights on, that's why. So we try to turn on the sun down.
But it's really hard to find work and establish a career when the people who are supposed to retire are stubbornly hanging on to their jobs for too damn long. Waiting for the boomers to die. The boomers who won't retire either because of ego or because they just don't have enough finances. A lot of assholes still out here. Talk the whole time. I didn't shut up once. Like I said, I don't need to see the news. I'm watching it every day I walk out here. Oh my goodness. Get some food in me. seeing all these homeless hanging around makes me realize that the Dallas Stupid Department doesn't. They're probably overwhelmed. They're tired and apathetic. And that's kind of what's happened to me. Is I have been washed over with this tired apathy. I experienced this around 2002 when Bush was in office. I just didn't care anymore. And the Republicans went in there and they came up with a lot of rules that fucked a lot of stuff up. Namely the Patriot Act and a lot of the other surveillance stuff that the state uses now. They came out with the TSA. Not the TSA, whoever the, is that the TSA? The people that grope you and put the wand over you. The screeners. Then they came out with that idiotic color coding terror alert. That went over like a lead balloon. You start saying it's level maroon. I was like, what does that mean? Should I be worried in some way? Code level or maroon. Where it ran into its problems, my spit tastes sweet. My body's like, hey man, get something in me. I was like, all right, I get it. That sweet taste in my mouth. There's nothing but noise, man. I have not heard peace and quiet once. But they started raising the terror alert conveniently around the election times to try to gin up votes. So what's going to happen in 2020? It doesn't matter. The damage is done. From what I was reading, and now they're saying there's a disagreement about that. We were supposed to be past the point of no return on the climate change thing. So there are people still harping on, oh no, we can turn it around, we can do this, we can do that. And their hope is someone in the future is going to come up with new technology. I was like, you mean this generation of folks that can't seem to find stable employment? They can't get a good education. They're going to find a way out of this? Okay. Your grandkids are going to be treading water. Deal with it.